Raz, dwa, próba mikrofonu, raz, dwa. Well, good afternoon and welcome. We're here at Strzegom for the live streaming of the Nations Cup competition.
Proszę Państwa, mamy już godzinę 14:15, tak więc rozpoczynamy próbę ujeżdżenia najbardziej prestiżowego konkursu klasy 4 gwiazdek, w ramach którego rozgrywany także jest konkurs z cyklu Pucharu Narodów. Widzimy już przy wokół pierwszą gotową parę, a jest to Polka Małgorzata Korycka.
Well, good afternoon. You're joining us live from the Lotto Strzegom horse trials here in Poland, and it's the start of the CCIO four-star competition. This is the Nations Cup competition. We've got 8 Nations Cups teams which will be doing their dressage during the afternoon here in Strzegom and tomorrow morning. The first 2 riders from each of the teams will perform today. The second 2 riders from the teams will perform tomorrow. And we're starting with Team Poland on home ground here at Strzegom, and it's Małgorzata Korycka coming out with Pola first to go for the Polish team.
First part of the Dressage trial for the CCI four-star short class, including the Nations Cup in eventing. Overall, 18 will fight for points in this class. The first one to go is from Poland, Małgorzata Korycka with Pola.
So Korycka for Poland, opening the batting for the home nation here for the Nations Cup, first to go in the team. My name is Ian Scott and we'll be looking after you for the afternoon. Hopefully see some really top-class dressage here. So this horse, Pola, 13-year-old chestnut mare by Aravel, out of Pauli by Akarat. The Małgorzata contested 3 Young Rider Europeans in 2010, 11 and 12 for her nation. And if the name Strzegom sounds familiar, this was the site for the 2017 Senior European Eventing Championships. A huge competition, won there eventually by Team Great Britain, and has many fond memories. Also hosting the Pony Europeans in August here at Strzegom. So another championship awarded to this venue here at Strzegom. Well, it's a hot day here in Strzegom. The temperature's well up into the 30s, but quite a welcome and very stiff breeze blowing right across the arena. And flags are well and truly flapping. And a few sponsors' balloons on the side of the arena, but it hosted some great competition here this morning in the 4-star competition on the long format. And Małgorzata producing some quite pleasing work in the early stages of first to go for Team Poland. Extended canter down the side. back up the centre line. And so she finishes. Bit of head shaking there, and resistance as they came to that halt, and very sparse spectator crowd here at the moment. Come Saturday, it's all going to change when it comes to cross-country day. This place will be heaving. Nice extended trot there, but again the head just a little unsteady. Should be losing marks there, and we see a provisional score there, 43.40. 43.40, our first test of the FEI Eventing Nations Cup here in Poland at Strzegom.
And next rider to start is from Germany, Miriam Engel, with the 10-year-old Holsteiner mare Bonita Bella, 6th place in the CCI short four-star class in Marbach in Germany last month.
So on the German team now, Miriam Engel coming forward with Bonita Bella, fresh from a good result at Marbach in Germany just 3 weeks ago. And Bonita Bella, in fact, this horse she did take to Le Lion, to the Young Horse European Championships in 2016, where they came 25th. Bonita Bella, now a 10-year-old, another mare, dark bay mare by Larimar, out of Granada, who is by Anthony's Dream. So, Germany, always a team to make a strong challenge in Nations Cup, particularly with their dressage skills. And this will be a vital first test for the team to see if they can take their traditional first place after the dressage stage. So in this four-star short format, the cross-country is the second phase of the 3 parts of the triple, and the show jumping comes last on Sunday. All comes to a head then. Well, this is certainly a test to start a standard. Gorgeous extended trot there. His head came up a little bit as she resumes the working trot here. That's better. So I say you are live on the live stream here from Strzegom, the site of the Senior European Championships. Oh dear, just seemed to spook slightly there. There's a bit of vegetation blowing across the arena. That was a bit unfortunate. I think the judges will take that into consideration. Our judge at C is in fact British judge Jane Tolley, and Gerd Kust from Germany is our judge at B. I say the wind is quite strong here, and that was a little bit upsetting, but recovering well. Need to stretch a little bit more in that long walk. I'd like to see the POL a little bit lower there. And I think maybe that moment of upset has perhaps just lost a bit of the relaxed atmosphere of this test. Not a lot wrong with that. Well, that was a very abrupt transition into canter, and Miriam there really had to sit tight and get this Bonita Bella mare back in hand. And again resisting the bend there as well in these canter serpentine loops. Lovely. Ooh, no, didn't quite manage the flying change there. You talk to most dressage riders at this level in Nations Cup, and the flying changes are always the ones that they seem to focus on. Quite a difficult move, and that time didn't fully complete their flying change. I don't know if you can hear on this microphone the rattle of the flags on their ropes against the aluminium poles. It's making quite a clatter, actually. Well, last extended canter down the side. Both extended canters have been good. And now settling for the up the centre line. Not quite square on the whole tie there, yeah. So, first of Team Germany concludes there. Miriam Engel with Benita Bella. Perhaps not quite the test they'd have hoped for, and so was a little bit unlucky to be distracted by some vegetation blowing across the arena, but that is a lovely extended trot. The test after that incident didn't go very fluently. So it's still a pretty good score, 32.7 for Miriam Engel. Certainly not a bad score by any means there. And you can see the two judges' scores there on the left-hand side of the screen, and it's the average score that counts towards the penalty score. As in eventing, all the marks are taken as penalties. And it's the riders with the lowest number of penalties that produce the top places. So the 8 teams contesting, all the teams of 4 here. We've got Poland and Germany, we've had those two. Belgium coming in now. The Netherlands, Great Britain, Italy, Switzerland, Sweden are all here with teams. And this is the first to present for Team Belgium. Annie-Sophie Covert with Chevis Regal, Chevis Regal Z. This horse has had a couple of international outings this year at the 3-star at Le Moulin back in the spring. Le Moulin, of course, has just hosted one of the European 5-star competitions just 2 weeks ago here, and will host the European Championships in August. The other international for this horse, Chevis Regal, was at Marbach. Again, came 41st there. And this horse for Annie-Sophie Covert went to Le Lion in the Young Horse Championships in 2016, placed 44th. Another mare, they've all been mares so far, nothing wrong with that. 10-year-old mare by Cathano of Wild Thing, who is by wonderful Van Te Bugelhof. So welcome to Team Belgium, Annie-Sophie Covert, having her debut for Team Belgium with Chevis Regal. Well, a nice relaxed start to the test. See this extended trot now across the arena. That looks to be much more expressive. Lovely relaxed movement. And Definitely extending more there than in the first attempt. Now the judges on this extended walk running into a little bit of trouble with the pirouette there. Certainly some resistance, didn't quite hold the hind leg position that you look for, and things getting a little stressed out there, a little bit of misunderstanding there. They broke into the trot, but now it is the extended walk where the judges look to see the pole of the horse lower than the withers, and that's not happening in this particular move. Back now to collected walk. And let's see how this one goes. And that was better than their first attempt. And off we go for the canter work now. See how this goes. Was the attempt at flying change, didn't come off at all, so had to bring the horse back, and this test is just beginning to deteriorate now. The flying changes, neither of them completed there. Here we go. That was a bit better. So yeah, bit of a disappointment there. The flying changes really unsettling the rhythm of the canter as well. No. Well, the second set of these loops going completely wrong, I'm afraid, and we're getting very low marks there from our judges, I'm sure. Bit of disobedience, resistance, and dressage is all about obedience, suppleness, and relaxed outline from the horse, and sadly, that's not to be for the first out for Team Belgium, for and Sophie Covert now coming up the centre line with Chevis Regal to the finish. Gives a bit of a sigh there from Anne, as there's one of those curate egg tests, good in parts, but probably not going to produce a very good score here. See what the provisional scores are in from the judges. When you see the score on the screen, it is a provisional score and has to be verified manually as well to give the final score. Yeah, 42, just fractionally better than our Team Poland first rider at 42. And you can see the two scores there from our judge, 125.5 from our judge at B, Gerd Kust, and from Jane Tolley, our judge at C. Now then, the first of our Olympians to come into the arena, and it's Team Netherlands, the Netherlands team first rider Merel Blom with Ciccolino. So Meryl contested in the 2016 Rio Olympics, where she came a brilliant 19th, a great performance there with Ciccolino. 16th at the World Equestrian Games in Tryon. Now that was on rumour has it her best horse, and also team World Equestrian Games bronze from 2014. So Meryl Blom, a considerable amount of experience at this level, and a great trailblazer, I'm sure, for Team Netherlands. So Ciccolino, 12-year-old gelding by Chico's Boy, out of D Casino Lady, who is by Casino Boy. Very experienced Meryl Blom on board. Let's hope we can get a test a little bit closer to Miriam Engel's first test for Team Germany of 32.7.
And the next one to compete in Arena B in the CCI 3-star short class for Germany, Philip Riedliger with Charisma.
Well, this 12-year-old gelding, Ciccolino, getting off to a lovely start. Head is lovely and steady, firm, deliberate, extended trotting strides there. Lovely start to the test. Getting a little bit above the bit there as the pirouette comes up. Yeah, accomplished that well. Now it's all about this relaxed stretch into the extended walk now. Head lowering a little bit. The judges would probably like to see that a little bit lower. And not really extending there, a little bit hurried as well. And a little bit of misunderstanding there, I think, just a sort of little hop there from Ciccolino, and a pretty untidy transition into canter there as well, with the second of the pirouettes. So now Meryl Blom has really got to get this horse settled into the canter rhythm, gets the first flying change. It's on counter canter there. This isn't quite going to plan. Lovely. Just spoilt it by just sticking his head up in the air a bit, but that was a proper flying change there, both front and back. Well, it's quite a strong ride. Just seeing the head keeps coming up with a little bit of resistance there as they came back to collected canter from extended canter. Now those loops again. And the change. And yeah, not quite accomplished there. And once again, these flying changes proving quite influential for these Nations Cup riders in terms of the overall test performance. But there's been some nice stuff here from Ciccolino and Meryl Blom, who's a 2016 Olympian. And that's a lovely finish. Yes, well done. Yes. It's a 40. That's quite a tough mark for Ciccolino. But nevertheless, it wasn't faultless, and certainly the some canter work and pirouettes didn't really pay off. But I would have thought from some of the earlier moves we may have had something a little bit better. Nevertheless, that is how it is for Team Netherlands. First rider out, Merrill Brom and Ciccolino. So it's our first 4 teams, 4 tests out, all very close, apart from Miriam Engel getting the best of it for Germany on that 32.7. And then we've got this test from Merrill Blom on 40, and then Anne-Sophie Covette for Belgium 42, and 43.4 Malgorza Kovitska, who came out first for Team Poland. So, welcome now, first for Team GB, and it's James Somerville, and he brings forward this wonderful partner of his, Talent, who's now 13-year-old. He's by Eurocommerce Toulouse out of Rosalina, who is by Concord. But James and Talent have had a wonderful career. They've ridden a 5-star badminton horse trials twice on this horse. In 2019 they came 33rd on a double clear, cross country and show jumping double clear, and 45th in 2018. They had a good season also last year, and the 4-star competition at Blair Castle, where they came 5th. So James and Talent have been together for quite some time. They know each other well. They're the trailblazers for Team GB. Nice start, not quite square. One hind leg out. And, So this test should be well within the grasp of James and Talent, having competed at 5-star, or what was 4-star competition level last year. This competition, CCIO 4-star, which would have been 3-star last year. That's all the star ratings of eventing change last year. And Talent looking on great form here. Nice extended trots in both directions. This is a very composed start for James and Talent. Let's see as they go into these walking stages now how this goes. Coming up to the first pirouette. Wanting the horse to stretch out and relax into the extended walk. James just encouraging his talents, dropping his head nicely there. Could be stretching and a little bit more. And now back to the collected walk. Yes, a nice flying change there. That will certainly get James some good marks with talent. And this combination pack quite a lot of experience between them, and it is showing here. We're getting some really nice smooth, composed moves. None of the resistance and earlier problems we saw from some of our earlier tests. And hopefully the judges are going to like this as well as I am. Let's see what we get with it. Lovely flying change again. So, extended canter down the line, and then we'll see how the marks come in. I think James has every reason to be well pleased with this test at this stage. Just the centreline halt to come now. Oh, super halt there. Yeah, just broke maybe slightly. But yeah, James saluting the judges, and there goes talent. He's done his job. I'm going to enjoy some of the slow-mo here, because we had some really nice stuff coming out of talent as he heads the charge for Team GB.
Po roboty wjeżdża właśnie zawodnik reprezentujący Wielką Brytanię, James Somerville na samym talent.
35.7, yes, that's a deservedly good score there for James Somerville. And at this very early stage of the competition, remember there's 4 team members for every for the 8 teams that are contesting this FEI Nations Cup competition for eventing, and the judges very uniform there, 153.5, 155. They're in total accord, which is always nice to see. And that is a good start for Team GB, thanks to James Somerville and talent. Now, strong Italian contingent here, and their first team member is Fosco Girardi. So, Fosco Girardi for Italy with Feldhegger. Feldhegger, a 12-year-old dark bay gelding by Bettel, out of Feldfee by Aspirant.
Feldhegger. Last results of this pair, 13th position in the CCI 4-star short class in Bratoni del Vivaro.
So Feldhegger, this horse has been 3 times, in fact, to the young rider European, so Fosco and Feldhegger really know their stuff, been together for a long time. They picked up on their way a team silver and bronze in 2018 and 16. So a very experienced young rider, European championship level with this horse Feldhegger. Well, the Italian government have a very strong emphasis in the military on their members of the military coming out and competing in all sports. Italy eventers, you'll find all from the military, and they get a lot of support, government support, grant and assistance to travel the globe and not only set an example for their own military, but also of their riding prowess and skills. And there's a lot to like about this test at the moment. Not quite tracking through with the extended trot there, maybe. Judges would have liked to have seen a bit more there. Let's see how the walk work goes. and into the canter. Nice transition there. A pirouette not really as tight as it could be. Let's see how they get on with the counter canter and flying change work on these loops. Yep, that was accomplished. And once again, through the canter loops we go. Just in time to switch to the right leg. This test has gone very smoothly for the Italians. I should think Fosco and Feldhelga, say 3 times young rider European contestants with a couple of team medals, have produced very pleasing work so far, and that is their finish. Also nice and square. Salute. And the Italians, yep, well pleased with that, I would think. Mind you, they're always pretty vocal, but let's see if we enjoy some of the slow-mo here. So, as always, in FEI eventing competitions, there's a inspection of the horse immediately after the dressage to check for any possible blood or injury on the horse from the mouth or the sides, which, of course, should that be the case, incurs immediate elimination. So, Fosco there going to the scrutiny of the judges, the FEI stewards, as you were, on the outside of the arena. Next to go for our Swiss team. Lovely to have a Swiss team here. I think first time, I've been Strzegom for 3 years running, to have a Swiss team here. And Yasmin Gambrasio comes out with Tempo da Lume for Team Switzerland. Now, Tempo da Lume has no international FEI experience, but all the same is going to, I'm sure, set quite a standard if they can. Tempo da Lume, a 12-year-old by Diams du Grasset out of Cancale de Lume, who is by Vasque Idonc. So Yasmin Gambriasio wishing the Team Switzerland the very best here. Lovely to have that team of 4. Yasmin herself with another ride called That's It. 2 times Europeans, European Championships in 2013 and 15, and has also contested the World Equestrian Games in 2014 on That's It. This ride, though, Tempo da Lume, is 12-year-old gelding. So pretty much an unknown partnership on the international scene with this ride. Interesting to see what Yasmin has in the locker for us. That was a mistake there. And, broke into canter. Well, nothing too impressive so far. But there's a nice relaxed head carriage here. Let's see this extended trot. That's better. Much nicer. Rhythm and balance. Perhaps a little unnerved by that unfortunate error earlier on where they broke into the canter. Let's see how the walking work goes now. Starting with a collected walk, turning at H to, oh dear, no, he's getting a little bit above himself, braking there. That's going to lose them a few marks. See how the pirouette goes here now. A very long rein. And maybe that's what suits. Wasn't actually too bad, that turn. And this is a better extended walk. Nice lowering of the head there, stretching out. Perhaps a little bit slow, rather ambling along, but all the same, nice to see the head catch. A little break there as well. Some penalties will be mounting up there. Certainly walking out on a very long rein, which isn't actually making much of a distinction between collected walk and extended walk. Right, away we go into the canters now. Quite a nice transition, walk to canter. It's in the full glare of the judges because it's right smack on the centre line. And the counter-canter work succeeding. And a flying change to come. Well, certainly to my eye, they managed it with the front half, but not the back half. It does sometimes happen. The horse's hind legs have to engage in the flying change as well. And didn't quite happen. Here we go again. Yeah, that was better. So at this stage, apart from a few breaks, walk to trot and trot to canter, and in fact walk to canter, not a bad performance. To say this horse has not had any experience in international competition so far, and is hopefully another successful up-and-coming ride for Yasmin Gambrasio for Switzerland. Let's see what our judges thought of this.
Dziękujemy bardzo zawodnicy ze Szwajcarii. Była to Yasmin Gambrasio i tempo Golan. A już teraz przygotowuje się.
35.6. That's a really nice score. Just ahead, in fact, of James Somerville. 35.6 for Yasmin Gambrasio with Tempo d'Allume. And again, very consistent judging there between Jane Tolley and Gerd Kust for Germany, our two judges.
Leaving the arena right now, Yasmin Gambrasio with Tempo d'Allume.
So the last of our Nations Cup first riders out in the team of 8, and we move to Sweden. So, Swedish rider Anna Nilsson. This is her ride Candy Girl. Another mare, 14-year-old mare by Contendro out of Anna May, who is by Argentinus. So a lot of good breeding in this horse for Anna Nielsen. First to go, Team Sweden, with the 14-year-old mare Candy Girl. So first international debut for this ride, Candy Girl. And also the debut for Anna Nielsen on her international duties, selected for this eventing team for Team Sweden. Well, a little hard to see from this angle, but that was a nice extended trot. Get a much better camera picture of it here now. Sorry, after the half pass to the centre. Swinging back. It's looking nice and relaxed and active. Here we go now with the trot off from the halfway mark. Yeah, it is certainly quite an expressive and impressive extended trot. And lovely light movements. And this horse really doing his very best, Candy Girl for Anna Nielsen. And the stiff breeze blowing across a very hot Strzegom here. And now the walking work. Came off all right. Back to an ordinary walk, and now she's going to ask for that long, relaxed, extended walk, head coming down. Very deliberate but impressive paces from this horse. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. So back to a collected walk, and see how this move goes now. Yeah, pretty good. And away we go now with the canter work. Counter canter, and then the all-important flying change in a few moments. Yes, I certainly asked for it. I'm not quite sure it fully engaged, but did switch the canter lead at any rate. Very powerful extended canter down the side. That was lovely. And nicely back in hand. I think there's some good marks coming in here. No obvious mistakes at this point. And certainly this horse just has a little bit of a wow factor about her. Again, the flying change down the side. I think this could be certainly a good competitive start for Team Sweden. And Candy Girl, Anna Nielsen, see them do their finish. Up the centre now. From collected canter to halt. That was a nice finish as well. Yes. And some encouragement there from Team Sweden. I think they liked it as much as I did, which is always handy. The big test, though, is what our judges thought of it. So that's the end of our 8 first riders for the 8 FEI Eventing Nations Cup teams here at Strzegom. And see how Anna Nilsson finished up there. But yeah, she is well pleased with that test, and deservedly so. I saw some nice stuff in there. 29.6, our first rider to go sub 30, and deservedly so. That is our best score of the day. And Anna Nilsson, Candy Girl, setting a good standard there. Both our judges in full agreement. 158 from our judge at sea, British judge Jane Tolley, 165 from Gert Kuss. So lovely to see our first test under 30, and Anna Nilsson and Candy Girl having a great ride there.
She can certainly hope for a good score in the class. We are still waiting for the official results, and the next one in the arena will be Andrea Cincinnati for Italy with the Irish-bred 15-year-old stallion Cascade by Cascaletto.
Well, that was a lovely finish to the team riders with Candy Girl and Anna Nilsson sweeping past Miriam Engel, who was second on 32.7. And now we have 3 individual riders in this CCIO 4-star Nations Cup short format competition with sponsors, the Lotto Trophy. And we have a rider from Italy, Sweden and Germany, who are contesting as individuals before the halfway stage. NZB Cascade, Irish bred, stallion, 15-year-old stallion by Cascaletto, St. Gihan out of Margi, who is by St. Gihan as well. For Italy, Andrea Cincinnati, NZB Cascade. 23rd earlier this year in a 4-star competition in Sopot here in Poland. What can he do? Let's enjoy the moment, but I say for the moment the team scores are sitting there with Sweden in first place, Germany in second, and Great Britain there in third, along with Switzerland very close, just 1.1 of a mark between Switzerland and Great Britain. Yeah, not a good start here at all. Big resistance there on the turn to extended trot. Hopefully won't see any more of that. At the moment we don't have any of the official verified dressage scores in. Seems to be a little bit of a hiccup with getting those through at the moment. Hopefully we might get that on the screen at the halfway point. But under the FEI Eventing Nations Cup rules, it's a team of 4 with the best 3 scores to count for the team score after the first phase. Interesting enough, the Strzegom last year at the FEI Eventing Nations Cup ran the Nations Cup under the new Olympic format, which will be run at Tokyo in 2020, where in fact only teams of 3 can contest, all scores to count, with a substitute available as a 4th rider, but with penalties for the team. Quite a complex system, caused a lot of head scratching here last year for the poor chef de keep. But it was the first time the format had been tried out, and it did highlights and wrinkles, which went back to FEI for some more fine-tuning, which thankfully they've listened to. And I think the format was also tried out at Mill Street last year as well. Again, not without its confusion and exactly what can be done, what can't be done and everything. But that format, I say, will become established properly next year when we go to Tokyo. So Cincinnati and NZB Cascade on their extended walk. Seems recovered from that rather unpleasant moment in the start where there was almost a rear with resistance from Cascade. But it seems to be settling more to his job now. But, the test, to my eye, being fairly stilted. There's not much freedom of movement or expression. Here we go. Yep, a very awkward transition to canter there. And Cascade really wanting to race off somewhere. But now settling to the swinging serpentine moves on counter-canter with the flying change at the end. And Cincinnati's really got to work. The head is quite unsteady on this horse. And let's see what the flying change does. Yeah, I think they made that. I think they made it. Or in part, anyway. Let's see if he can come back to that collected canter without a big fight. Yeah, that was better. I was just wondering, this horse is so sharp as to whether he would resist being brought back to a collected canter from extended, but yep, they managed that without any obvious signs of resistance. And a flying change there as well. So just up the centre line to finish. Not quite square in the halt. And say Test had one or two good moments, but I think the judges will see that in the light there was quite a lot of resistance, and as a result the Test didn't really seem to flow. There was some nice finishing to the extended canter there, extended trot there. We'll see what marks come up, but as I say, was our individual rider for Italy. Andrea Cincinnati and NZB Cascade.
Leaving the arena right now, Andrea Cincinnati with Cascade. The next one to go is from Team Sweden, Sofia Strzegom with Targa.
Yeah, 38.4 for NZB Cascade, about on the mark, I think, there, because there was some pleasing stuff, spoilt unfortunately by those canter transitions and some early resistance in the test. Such is life. Now, two to go. Individual rider for Sweden now. And this is Sofia Strzegom coming forward with Targa D, a 9-year-old mare by Luida out of Miss D. So Sofia Strzegom for Sweden with Targa D. Targa D, another newcomer to the international scene. And So it's a 9-year-old, as the youngest horse in this competition so far. And then we have one more test from Germany before the break. 3 more individuals, and then we'll be back into the second riders for the teams to start to give us an early idea of just how the team standings will be at the halfway stage. The remaining 2 riders from each of the teams will perform their dressage tomorrow, Friday morning, here in Strzegom. The head carriage on this horse is quite high. Doesn't give quite the pleasing outline that you like to see in dressage. Having said that, there's nothing wrong with the moves. And showing some nice extension there in the trot. Now, into the walking stages. Collected walk to pirouette. Back to collected walk, into extended walk, back to collected walk, back to pirouette. Must seem like an age in the arena for these horses, certainly for the riders. Well, that was quite nice and tight and neat. The head lowering just a bit, perhaps not as steady as you'd like to see it in the extended walk, but certainly some lengthening there, which is pleasing. Back now to collected walk. And then away into the canters. Well, a little bit sloppy there, a little bit of inaccuracy with the pirouette, but all the same, not a bad transition to canter now. So coming through on the canter serpentines, the counter canter there being held, and the flying change. Nailed that one. So Swedish rider Sofia Seborg producing quite a nice test, and Anna Nielsen for Sweden, Team Sweden, went earlier and produced the best score of the first riders in dressage. So Sweden spirits well and truly up. To see what the judges make of this, and a nice square tidy halt to finish, and some appreciation from the spectators as well. So a lot to like about that mare. Say just 9 years old, youngest one in the competition. She is by Louis Dam out of Miss D. So let's see what our judges think of Sophia's test. She's say performing as an individual. So far just that one test below 30 and no official scores in yet. Sophia there, 41.7. It's a little bit harder mark than I thought, but that's where we've gone with our judges' mark, 41.7. So I would think a little disappointing there for that performance. Anyway, we're now down to the last of our riders before the halfway stage. Staying with the individual riders in this FEI Eventing Nations Cup competition here at Strzegom in Poland, and it's Vanessa Bolting coming forward for Germany, riding Comtesse the 11th. This one, Swiss Warm Blood, 10-year-old bay mare by Caracondo out of Kalina, who is by Chamour.
The next rider in Arena A, the last one before a short break. Riding for Germany, Vanessa Bolting with Comtesse.
Well, Vanessa's had just very few international outings. She did contest the Young Horse Championships in Lyon on a different ride. That was Soraya. This horse, though, Comtesse, a 10-year-old by Caracondo. Let's see how they go. Team Germany started with Miriam Engel's score 32.7, putting them into second place after the first riders of the 8 teams had gone. So just need to compose themselves a bit there. Comtesse has got a lovely floating extended trot there. Some very nice moves in this horse. And they're looking pretty relaxed. There's a very stiff breeze blowing across the arena from side to side. Flags flapping, ropes clattering against the aluminium poles. So there's a lot out here that could upset a dressage horse, spoil the concentration. And so far, Comtesse, a little bit of a problem there, and they are in trouble now. They've certainly seen something over our side of the arena. I'm afraid that spoilt the pirouette move completely. So she had to sort of represent at that. But I'm afraid that will pull them down a bit. And, in the back of her mind, she'll be wondering what's going to happen with the next one. So this is the extended walk. Not particularly relaxed, but hardly surprising after that disappointment with the pirouette. Now she could do another one in a minute. And see whether it was actually something that upset the horse or whether it's just a move which hasn't fully been established between horse and rider yet. Yeah, it's obviously a move that it still needs some work. Wow, off they go at a canter. That was a strong strike off. Now the counter work and flying change. think it was hard to judge that change because they seem to be a bit out of position on the arena. Their serpentine loops looping backwards and forwards, not quite holding their shape or position. Let's see what happens with the change in a few minutes. They are coming up, unfortunately, to the area where they had the unfortunate resistance in the pirouette. That's it. So, Vanessa bolting with Comtesse. Bit of a mixed test for them. Started really nicely. We had some lovely, I would think, high marks to start with. But then the walk work, I'm afraid, did fall apart a bit. But some nice canter moves as well. And a little bit not square for a halt. To say, contesting here this CCIO 4-star Nations Cup short format competition as an individual and gaining valuable experience, I'm sure.
Sporo pokusiła jeszcze Vanessa Bolton. Przypomnę, ostatnia zawodniczka przed krótką przerwą. Kolejny zawodnik, Esteban Denizes powinien zaprezentować.
And score there 38.2, I think a very fair score, and our judges quite a drift between them of 10 points. So say we'll have a break now of some 10 minutes before we resume with 3 individual riders and then back to the FEI Eventing Nations Cup in Poland at 3:41.
I catch it, horse, then it's mine.
I proszę Państwa, pomału kończymy krótką przerwę na czworoboku, a na głównej arenie, gdzie rozgrywany jest próba ujeżdżenia konkursu klasy CC i o 4 gwiazdek.
And welcome back to the live stream here from Strzegom in Poland for the FEI Eventing Nations Cup competition. If you've just joined us, we're just about to have the second half of this CCIO 4-Star Nations Cup competition dressage phase. Earlier on this afternoon, the first 8 riders from each of the teams went out, plus 3 individuals, and Sweden in fact had the best of it with the only tests below 30. Anna Nielsen's Candy Girl producing a lovely 29.6. So we will have the second of the team riders coming out in a few minutes. 3 individual tests to enjoy first though. And first to come out is Esteban Benitez Valle for Spain with Milana 23. Milana, a 15-year-old bay mare by Medoc out of Morca, who is by Fleming. So welcome back to enjoy some more of this world-class dressage from these event horses. Well, Esteban, no stranger to Strzegom, came here to the Senior Eventing European Championships at Strzegom in 2017. In fact, came 28th individually. Team overall was 6th. His ride at that time, though, was Pizarra, not this one. Benitez Valle's Milana this time. So good to see Esteban back. Didn't have a bad outing, really, at those 2017 Senior European Championships here at Strzegom. Team finishing 6th. And this 15-year-old bay mare now back at Strzegom. Strzegom also has been awarded another European Championships, this time the Pony Europeans for dressage, show jumping and eventing, will take place here in August. And just shows the international status that is beginning to come here to this impressive site. All the Polish organisers and supporters here, volunteers, make every possible effort to give horses and riders and spectators the best possible experience. And of course you're enjoying live here from Strzegom on live stream TV. So the extended walk there not going well, head not really lowering, and very unsteady as well in the head, so not really an extended walk at all. And let's see how the second pirouette move goes here. Now this should be a collected walk, but Milana very unsteady in the head. Well, I got through it. Oh, well, oh yes, she really wants to go for her canter. This 15-year-old mare probably knows the moves as well as the rider. And see if they can settle to a nice rhythm in the counter-canter loops and flying change. Yeah, managed that all right. This canter work certainly an improvement on I would think some fairly poor marks for the walks. They do seem happier though in their canter moves. Oh, absolutely sprang through that flying change. Bit of a bunny hop, but they made it. And now just the extended canter down the side, up the centre line. And I would think they will be losing some marks. So this horse is not particularly rhythmical or steady in her head carriage. Pretty good straight finish though. So for Italy, individual rider Esteban Benitez Valle with Milana. We up 38.3, there and thereabouts, 7th individual place for Esteban there, 38.3. Certainly the canter work, I think, made up for the poorer marks in the walk. So next to go, individual rider. He's riding for Italy, Marco Capai, and this is Utta. Utta's a 10-year-old grey gelding by Casta de Villa Francesca out of El Delo out of Lumbasci. So for individual Italy rider, an Olympian, Marco Capai, who was in the 1996 Olympics, and then the senior Europeans in 2011. But they come on great form because both the 3-star Italian competitions at Verano and Pratoni di Vivaro, they did brilliantly. They were in the short format 3-star CCI at Verano, which they won, and then at Pratoni di Vivaro in the 3-star short format, they came second. Now this competition is a step up, it's the 4-star, but they certainly have impressed on their home turf. See how they do out here in Strzegom, Poland. Quite looking forward to this test. They're going to be, if they're on such good form at the moment, see what they're like when they step up to 4-star level. So Marco Kappa with Milano. Not really square with the halt there. Some nice, smooth, rhythmical paces here in the half pass. Yeah, quite nice marks coming there, I would hope. Let's see what their next phase. Oh, the extended trots now, off down the side and then extend across the arena from halfway down. There they go. Now another chance as they come across the diagonal. that's a better camera angle for us. Well, just tracking at tracking quite well. I think there's certainly more to come from that extended trot. Let's see how their walk work goes. But this 10-year-old grey gelding showing a lot of obedience and some nice measured paces. This is not a bad walk, nice and active, collected walk. It's one of the hardest moves in dressage, the walk. You wouldn't think that, but yep, that was nicely done as well. Now the all-important extended walk, I think you get double marks for this as they leave the arena at S and cross over. And the judges will be looking for the head to be lowered, which it does. The pole hopefully below the withers. Oh, that's nice, yes. Really stretching down. Nice extended walk that was great. It really happened. Now gathering back to a collected walk for the next pirouette. Now see what their canter work is like. Well, transition didn't quite happen in the right place, but when it happened, it was fine. Just rather ran into that move. Keeping the counter canter. And then they'll need to do a flying change. Well, hard to tell for this angle. Didn't really seem to work. Changed at the front and not at the behind. Here we go again, through the canter loops. Nice steady head position and carriage. I am liking this grey. Let's see, hold your breath a moment when the flying change comes. Again, not easy to tell quite if that was successful front and back, but it looked a bit smoother this time from the angle we had. And so round to the centre line. We'll see where the marks come in. I would think it's certainly in the 30s and possibly the low 30s. Oh dear, that was a bit abrupt. And yeah, it was square, but rather an abrupt hold to finish. Yeah, look at these lovely half passes. And then I've had good marks for the extended walk as well, double marks for that. Yep, 37.1. That's again showing good consistency from our judges. 141.5, 148. 37.10. I would think Marco would be quite pleased with that. Possibly I would have thought that was slightly harsh marking, but we now have the last of our individuals and then we go back into the team competition. Peter Thompson coming forward with Lucius. Lucius is an 11-year-old grey stallion by Lou Bega out of Taquina by Pasco. So Peter Thompson now with Lucius for individual rider for Germany. Well, Peter took his time to present. In fact, just came in with 1 second to spare on the countdown. Oh, lovely square halt to start with. This is a grey stallion. 11-year-old Holsteiner bred by Lou Baker. Whoa, lovely extended trot there. That was some beautiful two strong extended trots there. Now into the walk work we go. The pirouette to come. Here we go. Yeah, nothing wrong. Oh, a little bit spoiled there. Just tried to break away into trot as he came out of it. And Peter there really had to say no. We're going for an extended walk now. And this isn't really happening. More of a collected walk. So not the best of marks to come in for there. Some nice pirouettes though, yes. Away to the canter now. Well, quite a strong wind here at Strzegom. Very hot conditions, probably over 30 degrees. The breeze helps, but it's pretty strong as well, just blowing up a bit of dust and causing the international flags to flap. But sort of gusting across the arena, which isn't very pleasant for the horses or riders. The counter work and change. Yep, not that. So one of the more difficult moves out of the way. Yep, nice finish there, and I would think some quite pleasing moves from this big grey with Peter Thompson. So just see what they make of the walk work, not very strong. The extended walk we didn't think really quite happened. and there's double points on that, so let's see what the final mark comes in. Should be somewhere, I would think, in the higher 30s, possibly mid-30s. Yeah, 34.8, quite pleasing. Sixth best test of the day. Bear in mind that was an individual score though for Germany. We're just about to restart the team competitions.
Thompson with blue suits have finished their test, and the next one to go in the arena A is from Poland.
So the test results are fairly closely bunched together. So far only one test under the 30, which was our Swedish rider Anna Nilsson on 29.6.
And fourth place in the four-star short class is Sobot April.
So, turn now for Team Poland. On their home soil, Matthias Kemper coming out with Laspan Radovics. Now, their first team rider, Margotza Kostki, came out and did a 43.4. And now it's the turn of their second team rider, highly experienced Matthias Kemper. So Matthias was on the team here when Poland hosted the Senior European Championships here at Strzegom. 45th individually, and recently been out at Sopot for the seaside capital of Poland for their Eventing Nations Cup there. They've just concluded that competition. So this is going to get some intense interest, I would think, from our spectators scattered around here at Strzegom to see how their team can do with their second rider. Laspan Radovics is a 16-year-old black gelding by Radilin out of Ahelovixen, who is by Castle Fox. Well, this Irish sport horse and Matthias have been together for many a competition. Certainly no strangers to the arenas here at Strzegom. This is a nice extended walk. Laspan Radovics stretching down nicely there. Won't do them any harm at all. And a nice transition to canter, so some pleasing aspects to this test. I think certainly an improvement on the first team riders test, which was a 43.4 for Malgorza Kotsiska. This is a CCIO four-star Nations Cup competition. So the dressage happening this afternoon and tomorrow morning, Friday morning in Strzegom, followed by cross-country Saturday, and then the finale when it all comes to a head in the show jumping phase on Sunday afternoon. Now you'll be able to follow it all on live stream from here at Strzegom. Lovely flying change there. And Matus is picking up some good marks in places now. And he's off on his final extended canter. It's always about how the horses come back together after the canter. The judges watch really carefully for. And yeah, it's a good finish. Yep, all round. I think that'll get some good mid-30 marks there. Oh, I'm so glad the judges liked it as much as I did. 31.4, that is a very good score. Good enough, I think, for second place. And, all right, these are unofficial scores. They still need to be verified, but that's a strong result there for Poland. Really good to see. 31.4, second place behind Swedish rider Anna Nilsson, the only rider to go under 30. So that was lovely. Good result there. Team Poland looking strong.
And the next one to go is from Germany, riding the 17-year-old Hanoverian gelding Hamilton by Ferrari.
So now back to second rider for Team Germany. After the first rider's gone, Team Germany were lying second as Miriam Engel led the way with the 32.7. It's the turn now of Josefa Sommer with Hamilton 24. This beautiful Hanoverian bred 17-year-old dark bay by Heraldique out of Fiorella by Furicio's son. So let's see how Josefa can do. And Josefa was on the German team here at the Senior European Championships at Strzegom in 2017 with Hamilton and finished 12th individually. So strong performance. They obviously like it here at Strzegom. I wish them all the very best with their first test. Second rider to go for Team Germany. Well, some really, really nice, balanced, smooth trot work all the way through there. And now into the walking phase of the test. And some nice work coming out here from Josefa. See the extended walk. Yes, Hamilton just lowering a bit. Maybe there's a bit more to come from him there. But it's very windy here at Strzegom. Quite a lot of stuff moving around the edge of the arena. And if anything, it's getting stronger and the temperature's getting higher. Lovely canter transition there from a very good pirouette. This test so far going extremely well. Hamilton not fussed by the conditions. They've been together for some time. In fact, probably the oldest horse in this Nations Cup class. Certainly so far anyway. We've got tomorrow to come. Well, the flying change there, not perhaps as smooth as Josefa would have liked, but still, both front and hind legs engaging there properly. Better transition, a better flying change there. I think this is going to come in pretty good from our judges. There's been a lot to like in this test, no evident mistakes. Resisting a little bit there when she went from the extended canter to collected canter. But that's how to finish. Yes. Good result there, I'm sure. Team Germany will be pleased with that. We'll see what the judges make of it. Could be another one in the low 30s or even lower.
z Belgii, Laura Lodzi i Absolut Allegro. W tym roku 10. miejsce. To jest krótki gwiazdka na zawodach w Marbach. W ubiegłym roku 2 starty w Strzegomie 20.
So 32.7 for first team rider Miriam Engel. We'll get Josefa's score up any moment now.
Tegorocznym 4 gwiazdki.
Well, just waiting to see Josefa's score before we move on to Belgium. Well, it's taking its time. We don't have it actually up on the screen, so hopefully we'll catch up with that shortly. That's a pity, have to leave us guessing on that one. Belgium now, and it's the turn of Laura Loge with Absolute Allegro. Allegro, the 11-year-old bay mare by Quintero out of Toscana, who is by Coleman. So debut for team, debut on the international scene for this horse. Well, the absolute allegro, this 11-year-old bay mare by Quintero. Just a little bit hurried there in the extended walk. Really could have stretched out and lowered his head a bit more. And a little break there as well. They're going to be losing some marks there as they go to the second of the pirouettes. This breeze is, well, wind is more the point. It's pretty strong out there. And 1, 2, the horses get a little bit lit up. Let's see how they go off on their canter. That was a nice transition. Not particularly accurate. It was not. It was past the centre line. Well, second rider out there for Team Belgium, Laura Loge, coming to the finish there. I think they will have certainly lost some marks for 1 or 2 mistakes and breaks in their movements, but otherwise some quite pleasing work as well.
Leading the arena right now, Laura Logie from Belgium, riding Absolute Allegro. And the next one on the start list is from the Netherlands, Janneke Bonsayer, riding ACSI Schanstedt Private.
So just see where the score came in for Laura. There we are, 31.6. No, there's Josefa Sommer's score. That's what we were looking for, 31.6 for Team Germany. That's the one we were missing, so that's now being sorted out. Puts Team Germany in with 2 good scores in the low 30s. And we may just see Laura's in a moment as well. Or possibly we'll have to wait for that until after our second rider for Team Netherlands. Yeah, I think we probably will. But good score there for Josefa Sommer, 31.6. Second best score of the entire competition. Puts Germany on a combined total there of 64.1 team score from their first 2 riders. Puts them firmly in front of Poland. And this is now Yannick Bunzai coming forward for the Netherlands. And Bunzai, Yannick with ACSI Champ de Talieu. This is a Dutch warm blood, grey gelding, 12-year-old by Quidam de Ravel, out of Vera, who is by Oberon de Moulin. Well, Quidam de Ravel, very useful stallion. You'll see his progeny doing very well also in show jumping as well. Very popular as an eventing stallion, so we'll see how they go. First rider out for the Netherlands. Disappointing really, with a dressage score of 40 for Mirel Blom. Yannick originally had Campbell entered, and so this is a change of horse, a last-minute change of horse, I'm guessing, to Champ de Tailleur. No international form on this horse, really. And let's just sit back and enjoy their test. A very deliberate pirouette there. And Champ de Tailleur just flicking his foreleg up for some reason. Oh, this is a nice stretching out for their extended walk. And the pole definitely dropping below the withers. This will help. Deliberate pace is tracking through nicely as well. Well, nice canter transition, but rather stilted in their strike off. And I'd like to see this canter flowing a bit more as they go through the counter-canter loops now. Before the first of the flying changes. Ah, very nicely done, very smooth. And a little bit of a spook in the corner, actually right up by my booth there. Not quite sure what caused that, something that Tailleur didn't like. And I say it is very, very strong, hot wind blowing across Strzegom at the moment. Some nice work coming in here, I think. A lot to like from this big grey. And Yannick, I say, Champ de Tailleur, no international form, and this horse, I say, substituted fairly late. But from what you can tell, not a lot wrong with there. Quite pleased with that look. Yep, I'm very pleased with making a bit of a fuss of Tailleur.
Sporo boków wjechało właśnie na niestety zarejestrowany i Champ de Tailleur, a za chwilę oglądać będziemy tutaj zawodników.
So just looking for Laura Loge's score from Belgium. We haven't had that up yet. And this is Laura's, yeah, 30.6. It was a nice test, and I'm very pleased to say the judges agreed with me. second best test of the day. So a strong score there, and that's Yannick with Steyr on a 31.1. So the last two tests have produced very good marks, both for Team Belgium and Team Netherlands. This is closing the team position up quite considerably now. Obviously just two riders to go, two riders have gone, two to go, and a discard score, three lowest penalty scores to count. But this is Belgium now on 72.60, the Netherlands finishing on 71.1, so just ahead of Belgium. Now we go to Team GB. Great Britain, 35.7 was the first ride out for James Somerville with his lovely ride Talent, and it's Emma Hobday coming forward second with Shadow Puppet, an 11-year-old by Lord Pezzi out of Aquinora, who is by Quattro B, owned by Emma Carmichael, and Emma Hobday coming here with some strong form behind this horse. In 2018 they contested three-star competitions, which would now be 4-star in 2019. Blair Castle 24th there, Bergham 18th, Bramham 47th, and this year went out to both Belsay and Bramham in the 4-star competitions this year. 32nd at Bramham, and a good result too at Belsay. So Emma Hobday, Shadow Puppet, this horse really beginning to make his mark on the British eventing scene. Picked for Nations Cup duties today for Team GB, looking to see if they too can deliver a good score to complement that from the first team rider out, James Somerville and Talent. So this second half of the afternoon of dressage here in this CCIO 4-star Nations Cup competition, proving quite influential. We've certainly had the better of the tests. The last few riders, Germany, Belgium and the Netherlands, all just over the 30%. Oh dear, bit of a upset there for Emma Hobday there with Shadow Puppet. The spooking away at the corner there. She's now got to compose herself and try and get this balance back, which she does with a lovely extended trot there. That was nice. And again, very abrupt transition there to the walk. See the first of the pirouettes now. I didn't get the best of her camera shots there. I think it went all right. Not really relaxing into that walk, I'm afraid. The head staying up, the neck not stretching down. I think Shadow Puppet a little bit overawed possibly by the arena. Make it really difficult for Emma to get him to concentrate on the job in hand. That's tidy. Let's see how their canter work goes. Nice, active, even, regular paces, but the head, unfortunately, is not very well balanced. And it's just spoiling the outline a bit. And we're just trying to give him a slightly longer rein, see if that would work, but Shadow Puppet very much on edge out there for Emma. Again, not a good camera shot to comment really on that flying change. It was engaged. Pulling up from the extended canter up the centre line. And a strong finish there, but test marred, I'm afraid, by Shadow Puppet. Definitely rather tense throughout the test and not really enabling Emma to produce her best work with him.
Dziękuję bardzo Michałowi z Wielkiej Brytanii. Przypomnę, prezentowała to nasz Shadow Puppet. I czekamy teraz na występ zawodnika z Włoch. Będzie to Roberto Riganelli, który zaprezentuje się nam 9-letni klasyk Ramona, na której w tym roku zajął już 10. miejsce w 4 sztucznych gwiazdkach w kwietniu w Wajranie.
We've just seen that revised score up there for Yannick for the Netherlands. They have produced the best test of the day, 29.4, 29.4. Originally that came up as 31.3, but that was a super score for Team Netherlands second rider. Best test of the day, 29.4. So that puts the team of the Netherlands on 69.4 by my reckoning. All this, of course, has to be officially verified. But of the first 4 teams, Germany 64.1, the Netherlands 69.4, Belgium 72.6, Poland 74.8. We have one British result to come in from Emma Hobday's test. And we're now on to Italy. Second rider for Team Italy, Roberto Riganelli. And Roberto Riganelli brings forward this bay mare, a 9-year-old bay mare by Concoral, out of Caramba by Delfo de Ossi, and this is Ramona. Well, Ramona was at the Le Lyon Young Rider Championships, Young Horse Championships as you were, Le Lyon in 2016, where they came 12th. In fact, Reganelli's been 6 times to Le Lyon. And then had 3 Young Rider European rides in 2003 to 2005. And is on the Italian Nations Cup team today. It's an important day for Roberto as he moves up into the Senior League, Big Boys League. Well, the extended trot a little bit hurried there, and producing though a nice active collected walk at the moment. Nice, quite deliberate extended walk. Could maybe have just stretched out and stretched his neck down a bit more. As he goes back to collected walk for the second of the pirouettes. First one looked a little bit strange with his hind legs. Just watch this one carefully. That's better. And now time to canter. Made the flying change. Extend down the side. I think this chap can move a bit, yeah. It's how they come back though that is really important in the extended canter. It's quite nicely done. There's some pleasing moves coming out here for Team Italy's second rider. Very nice regular canter pace. And the flying change moving there. Yeah. Quite sure if they engage behind as well, but we'll see what our judges make of that as Roberto Reganelli will come up the centre line in a moment to complete his test with 2 more to go. Swiss Nations Cup rider and Swedish Nations Cup rider to come. Not quite square for a halt, but they finish. So hopefully we'll get to Emma Hobday's score in a moment.
Redaktor generalny z Włoch, a już za chwilę prezentować się tu będzie przed Państwem Patrycja Oettinger ze Szwajcarii, 50-letni
Well, I think we'll have to wait a bit longer for our scores as we now move to Team Switzerland. Great to have a team from Switzerland here at the FEI Eventing Nations Cup in Strzegom, Poland. And it's their second rider to go, Patricia Oettinger for Switzerland with Victory Hope Trail. And this is a 10-year-old gelding by Epsom Gesmeret out of Diabla du Defray, who is by Oberon du Moulin. So, first rider out for Team Switzerland. It wasn't a bad score. It was a 35.6 from Swiss rider Yasmin Gambrazio. I say we're now missing 2 scores for Great Britain and Italy. We'll bring you up to speed as soon as we get them. But I say 2 more riders to go to bring the first day of Nations Cup competition to a close here at Strzegom. Well, Switzerland probably more well known in the equestrian world for their show jumping, but we are getting a couple now. The second good test from Team Switzerland here. There's nothing wrong with the trot work. Some lovely, smooth, flowing trot work there. Now it's into the walking stages. I am able just to bring you up to date with the 2 missing dressage scores now. Emma Hobday's for Great Britain Team GB. It's disappointing at 44.5, but was a very difficult test for her as her ride was really quite hard to settle in there. And then Roberto Riganelli, 36.8 for Team Italy. So not a bad score for there. That brings us up to date with the scores. And victory hope thrill for Patricia Attinger for Team Switzerland in the arena now. Going really quite nicely. There's nothing really wrong with this test. And on the back of a good first rider score of 35.6, we may as well see Switzerland well in the mix. Of course, only 2 riders have gone from the teams. Tomorrow, you'll see the other 2. That was a good flying change as well. You'll see the other 2 riders and the best 3 or best lowest 3 penalty scores from dressage will count towards the team score. And then it's all changed for Saturday, cross-country day here at Strzegom. Forecast is hot and dry right the way through the competition. And the heat, in fact, may well play its part as a factor. Today there's a stiff breeze blowing, though. Not quite square to finish, but good result there, I think, for Team Switzerland. That won't be a bad test at all. And Patricia very pleased with her ride.
Dziękuję bardzo zawodnicy też Państwowi, Patrycji Attinger, a proszę Państwa na liście sztafetowej pierwszej części konkursu.
Yeah, nice, consistent 34.3. So Team Switzerland well and truly in the mix at this stage. 69.9 their team score. Right up there with the Netherlands on 69.4 and Germany on 64.1. So out of those 7 teams, in fact, Swiss are lying in 3rd place. We can now come to the last one to go. The important test this for Sweden, because their first rider out produced a super test. That was Anna Nilsson, a Candy girl. The only one at that stage to go below the 30 mark at 29.6. And was the best rider of the day up to that point. We've had a 29.4 test coming in from the Netherlands second rider, Yannick Bousaya, with Champ de Tailleur to topple that one. But another good score from Sweden. We'll see them right up there and possibly ahead of Team Germany. So 29.6 their first rider score. And this is Katrin Norling with Fernando Ucato. And Ucato, 9-year-old chestnut stallion, Dutch warm blood, by Ucato, out of Paula, who is by Holland. So, good luck Team Sweden. Last test of the afternoon. Well, Katrin, no stranger to the big scene. 2008 Hong Kong Olympian, where the team came 4th, and she was 18th individual on her brilliant Pandora. And Pandora also took her to 4 senior European championships. So Fernando Ucato, not seen much of this horse yet, but quite clearly one to follow in the footsteps of Pandora. And Fernando Ucato, so just a 9-year-old stallion, definitely, hopefully, one to watch. perhaps a little bit hurried into that extended. Let's see what they do coming across the arena now, where they've got the whole diagonal to work away. That is a very nice extended trot there, tracking through beautifully. A nice, soft, balanced, easy head there. And getting some nice moves. See how the walks go. Well, some nice work all the way through the walks there. Pirouettes going well. Extended walk maybe a little bit, could have been a little bit more stretching and longer. But this horse and rider giving a nice profile. Some really strong gusts of wind hurtling across the arena here at Strzegom. Huge dust clouds, but flying change in place. This is not phasing Katrin. So Katrin Norling for Sweden, she can come into the low 30s. Team Sweden will have the lead at the end of the first half of the dressage. Don't forget to come back to join us for tomorrow morning. It's going to be quite exciting with the teams this close. Effortless counter canter, and certainly from this angle a successful flying change as well. So just the straight down the side. I'm quite liking this test. I think Team Sweden are going to have the best of it by the end of the day. Just need to turn up the centre line, halt and go out, and see where we are with the judges' score on this test. Yep, that was established. Well done. Yeah. And yes, another good test score, 30.4 for Team Sweden, and we all like that. That's going to put them, I'm certain, into the lead at this stage. Yep, the team score, in fact, of exactly 60 puts them ahead of Germany. So provisionally, without me giving you the official position, because that's still to be verified, Team Sweden come out in the lead with two riders, 29.6 and 30.4, team score of 60. Team Germany holds second on 32.7 and 31.6, gives them a 64.1. Following through after that, then we've got the Netherlands, Belgium, Italy, Poland. The Swiss, let's not forget the Swiss. They are lying third, actually. No, fourth on 69.9. Netherlands on 69.4. And Poland, Italy, Great Britain in the chasing pack. So it's been a real pleasure to bring you the first half of the CCIO 4-Star Nations Cup short format Lotto Trophy here for FEI Eventing Nations Cup here in Strzegom. Don't forget to join us tomorrow morning for the second half of the dressage phase.
We have now finished today's part of the dressage trials for the CCI 4-Star short class and the Nations Cup class. We are still waiting to announce the official results for today. And in Arena B, the next one to compete will be for Spain, Gonzalo Blasco Botin, riding light stream.